Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the sixth episode of Tech Talks with Santosh, and we have a very special guest today, Ankit Prajapati. So, Ankit is a full stack developer, blogger, and open source contributor, and he's really active on Twitter as well, uh, talking about his open source stuffs and sharing his knowledge via his blog. And he likes to explore new technologies and share his knowledge. Of course, he has been writing a lot of blog posts on ngdevelop.tech. You can check it out. And he has also created a library called ngx fancy logger, which helps to manage console logs for Angular application. So welcome to the show, Ankit. How are you?
Yeah, thanks, Santosh. Hello, everyone.
Cool. Thanks for joining us, Ankit, today. And today we are going to talk about Angular Universal and pre-rendering. So it's really interesting topic because I am also really interested to learn about SSR. So let's go ahead and start the discussion with Ankit. And in case you have any questions, you can actually use the chat window. If you're on YouTube or maybe Twitch, you can just post it as a in your chat window, and we'll be able to see your comments, and then we can actually take those questions as well. So Ankit, I mean, a lot of people actually get confused. So when it comes to SSR, so we have your single page applications, and then we have SSR. So I mean, what
Yeah,
is actually an SSR?
yeah. So, as the name suggests, it is a server-side rendering.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you in the different rendering strategies first. So there are
Mm-hmm.
different strategies like server client-side rendering, which is generally the normal flow. All the
Mm-hmm.
single-page applications are running like Angular, React, or Vue. Other is the
Mm-hmm.
server-side rendering. In client-side rendering, we are downloading all the JS files on the browser, and then
Mm-hmm.
processing will be done in the browser, and then it will be rendered on the screen. Okay. In
Okay.
server-side rendering, process will be done on the server side. So it will be like Node.js server. You are
Mm-hmm.
hosting your site there, and then that HTML page will be generated there, and then that HTML page will be downloaded to client side and will be rendered. So
Okay.
our whole page will be generated on the server side. While in the
Mm-hmm.
pre-rendering, another strategy is the pre-rendering, where we are
Mm-hmm.
generating our whole HTML while building our application. So this
Oh.
is like the where your page is rendered. The
Mm-hmm.
way name is given, like client side rendering,
Mm-hmm.
server side rendering, and
Mm-hmm.
pre-rendering.
Okay. Okay, so if I understood correctly, it's like, so in single page applications, you actually send everything from your server,
Yeah,
right? So whenever, let's say,
yeah,
I go to ngdevelop.tech, which is your blog post.
right,
So if it's like SPA, all the contents, including your JS, everything will be transferred to me. I mean,
right, yeah,
being a client. And in
yeah,
SSR, so it's like, if I request for a particular page, that particular page will be processed on your
yeah,
Node.js
right,
server, which we have, and then
yeah,
only those particular contents,
will
your
be
entire
downloaded. Yeah,
site, yeah, will be downloaded. Okay, and in
yeah,
pre-rendering, you already have your entire page generated
yeah,
statically, and it is saved on your server. So whenever, let's say, I go to ngdevelop.tech/home, I get this built-in page, or
yeah. The
let's say static page, which
pre-generated
is a
page. Yeah, yeah,
okay, that's really cool. So okay, so it raises another question, right? So if you have already this SSR pre-rendering and SPA available, how
yeah.
does Angular Universal helps? So where it
Okay,
comes into the picture?
okay. So if you doesn't want to implement server side rendering, then
Hmm.
you can go with the normal Angular application flow. But if you want to implement server side rendering, Angular Universal is a tool which gives you a facility to implement server side
Hmm.
rendering in Angular applications. And nowadays
Okay.
they have just only one schematic which you can run
Hmm.
ng add ng universal and then express engine. It will configure it will do all the configurations, and it will convert your normal Angular application to a server side
Hmm.
render application, and then you can serve your application by just executing two commands there. So you doesn't have to do much things. It will do
Hmm.
all the configurations from it will be done all the configuration by this Angular universal tool.
Okay, that's really nice. I mean,
Yeah,
so if I have to actually convert a single page application, let's say plain vanilla JS application,
yeah,
I can still go ahead and do that using some technique.
yeah,
But you're saying Angular Universal is something which makes it, I mean, home. I mean, it is already available. You just go ahead and run
yeah,
the command, and it is available. That's really
yeah.
cool. So, while actually migrating from, let's say, single page applications to Angular Universal, right? So is there anything which I have to take care of? I mean, maybe some code changes, or something? Maybe I'm not sure.
That
You may.
all things will be taken care by the like Angular
Mm-hmm.
Universal Schematic command only. So it will not
Okay.
do the changes in your components or any other things. It will add more files like for the
Mm-hmm.
server .ts. It will add for the starting a Node.js server. Also, it will
Okay.
add like Angular server module. It will add. So these files, what it will do initially, this will render your application or this will start the Node.js server. And then when you
Mm-hmm.
are requesting that page, navigating to any
Mm-hmm.
page in your application, then it will render that page from your so generally generates two. While you are building the application, it generates two bundles, one for the browser and one for the server. And that
Okay.
server bundles are hosted on the like Node.js server. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
when you are navigating to any page, then it will generate like page on the server side
Mm-hmm.
on Node.js server from that
Okay.
browser files, and it will give us initially. And the meantime, it will also download the that browser application, and it will be
Mm-hmm.
once that complete browser application will be loaded on the browser, then it
Mm-hmm.
will pass control to a like browser app, so that our application works smoothly. And also it gives a like initial loading time, like it will reduce the initial loading time, because our main
Mm-hmm.
first page is rendered on the server and it is directly downloaded, so it doesn't require to process initially on the client side until that all the bundle files of browser are loaded on
Okay.
client.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. That's really cool. I mean, so it actually reduces your first contentful
Yeah,
page, right?
paint,
So
yeah,
that's
absolutely,
CFP. We
yeah,
call it as CFP. Okay,
yeah,
that's really cool. So, I mean, I remember I was actually migrating my application and I had to make some changes. It was related to, I think, platform browser. So I have to actually tell the SSR where I'm running my code. So if I
yeah.
remember, I mean, there was is browser or is platform something. So
Yeah,
any
there
idea
are
about
other
that? What
things.
why?
Yeah, sure,
Mm-hmm.
sure. So there are some things are like that, some like document or window object which you are using
Mm-hmm.
in the like generally we should not use in Angular application, but if you
Okay.
are using for
Mm-hmm.
any purpose, like then that will be not supported on the server side. Okay,
Oh,
so for
okay.
that what we can do, we can use the is platform browser or is platform server, and we can just
Mm-hmm.
uh, in the conditionally we can use it, like once our
Mm-hmm.
browser application is loaded, at that time we can use it. And that condition it provides that where you are
Mm-hmm.
serving your applications. So if you are using like if it is a browser, then you can access the document object, otherwise you should not use it. So we can make it like conditionally. Also to to fix these issues of document object, if you want to use it on
Mm-hmm.
a server, then Angular provides like facilities like render to you can use, which is
Okay.
give us all the like features mostly, like for creating an element and all other things. So
Mm-hmm.
render to you can use instead of directly accessing a document object on the server side rendered application.
Oh, that's really cool. So, I mean, so once I'm migrating to like SSR, I have to make sure that I'm not using Windows object or like
Yeah,
document object, which is available mostly on your browser, right? So it's not
right,
available on
right,
server. So you
right.
have to make sure either you use is platform server or it is platform
Yeah.
browser as a condition, and
Hmm.
then or let I mean you. I think there are some libraries as well, if I'm not wrong. So if I want to, let's say, just mock the Windows object, right?
Yeah,
So I think
yeah.
there are some libraries
That
available. Yeah, cool.
like you can like patch that function, or you can write your
Mm-hmm.
own logic there, or
Okay.
uh, you can just ignore it by adding some condition there that
Conditional learning. Mm-hmm.
statement is not getting executed, so that way you can
Cool.
handle for that particular part.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, so I think there is a question from Chandrakant. Let's take it. So his question is how the server build and client is different from each other in terms of compilation part. So I'm if you, I mean, I couldn't understand the question. If you understood it,
Yeah.
I think you can
So
go ahead. Otherwise,
yeah, as Chandrakant, I said that for the client side application, your whole the
mm-hmm.
bundle file will be downloaded on the
Okay, okay, okay.
browser,
Mm-hmm.
and then it will be like compiled there and rendered there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
While in the server side application, that will be done on the like Node.js server. It will render there,
Mm-hmm.
and it will give us a like HTML page,
Mm-hmm.
that will be rendered on the screen.
Okay. Oh, that's really cool. I hope Chandrakant, your question is answered. In case not, you can actually reply with some comments. So we will try to,
Yeah,
I mean, discuss it
sure.
again. Okay, cool. So, uh, and what are the advantages? I mean, of course, I can just go ahead and suggest my client. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and use
Uh,
SSR. But what are the
yeah.
advantages?
Yeah. Can I share my screen? I'll show you the
Yeah, sure, sure,
live
sure.
demo of server-side
Yeah, yeah,
rendering
sure.
and client-side
Yeah,
rendering.
yeah. Just share it, and then I will add it to you,
So
the
that will
stream.
be a like,
Yeah, you have to share your screen. Click on share screen.
yeah. Okay, just let me know if it is visible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you are sharing your wrong screen. Yeah. Now I can.
Okay. So I have one application called Game of
Mm-hmm.
Thrones application I have created, which has the
Mm-hmm.
two pages, books and characters page. These are the like
Mm-hmm.
these are the like content I am fetching from the API, the
Okay.
public API which I am using for now. And
Mm-hmm.
this is the server-side render app. I have started both this uh, things parallelly. So
Mm-hmm.
let me show you. I'll show you like this is the like normal client-side render application, and this is how I have
Mm-hmm.
used it, and this
Okay.
is how I have rendered the server-side application.
Okay.
Okay, and it is running on the 4500. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
let's see all the differences step by step.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in client-side application, issue is that suppose you are like using a low power device or low internet connectivity, then your bundle size until all the bundles are downloaded on the
Mm-hmm.
client, your application will
Mm-hmm.
not
I think we lost
by
him.
demonstrating.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so let me just change the network speed. So I'm running
Mm-hmm.
on the slow 3G. Okay, and
Okay.
then I'm just refreshing the page.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so until my all the files are downloaded, you'll see
Mm-hmm.
this blank screen.
Blank screen.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that issue is like if you are doing the SEO, then this should not be happen. Like otherwise, what
Mm-hmm.
like user comes to your page and then he'll see this blank screen for some time and he'll
Mm-hmm.
go out toward the page. Okay,
Exactly. Yeah.
so that issue we can fix by using the server side rendering. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the same application is running,
Mm-hmm.
and then let's do the same thing here. And
Mm-hmm.
just let me refresh it. So you will
Oh,
not get that blank screen initially. You can see here
that.
that we are getting the
Mm-hmm.
HTMLs. Okay,
Oh,
and
that was really quick.
yeah. So until the that my whole application is got rendered, it shows me that
Mm-hmm.
initial layout, that it will
Okay.
not show blank screen, so that user can get some content initially.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is
That's
the
really
main
cool.
advantage. Also,
Mm-hmm.
like if you are doing a SEO, then your page should be a crawler should be able to crawl this page. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so crawler is like the various search engines like Google or Bing using crawlers to that parse
Mm-hmm.
that content whatever in the
Okay.
that page. Also, Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter are using crawlers to crawl content from our page meta tags, and then they are rendering that their card. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
with server side rendering, you will get all the like content here generated
Mm-hmm.
here.
Okay.
Even it is a dynamic content is loaded there. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you will get it in the page source.
Okay. So you're
Right.
saying the entire HTML will be available in page
Yeah.
source.
So
Otherwise.
whenever, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So whenever that crawler crawls the page, it will get all the
Mm-hmm.
contents. Okay.
Oh,
While in the
that's.
client side rendering, if you
Mm-hmm.
like check the page source, you'll get only this part.
Ah.
So there are some search engines like Google nowadays, they are able to crawl the like JavaScript, but not all the like search engines doing this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Okay.
I have tested this application in the Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter cards. That this like if you are publishing your application on normally and it is not a server side, then it will not parse the meta tags if you are even though you are doing the dynamically changing that meta tags.
Mm-hmm.
Here I have also added the meta tags. I'll show you that I have added on dynamically. So wherever
Okay.
I am changing the route, you can see here. So whenever
Mm-hmm.
I'm changing the route, I'm updating like
Uh-huh.
title, and
Yeah.
also other meta tags are there, which I'm setting dynamically. So this meta tags can be crawled by the this Facebook or LinkedIn or this social media crawlers. Otherwise, your client side application will
Mm-hmm.
like if it is a normal application, then it will not be able to crawl. I'll show you both the application I have deployed on the servers, and I'll show
Okay.
you live that thing also. So this is the like server side render application which I hosted on the
Mm-hmm.
Heroku, and another
Okay.
application uh, that I hosted on the Netlify. So this is
Mm-hmm.
the normal Angular application.
Okay.
Let me just try test GPS. Okay, and now let's check it on the like Facebook debugger.
Mm-hmm.
If you are sharing your content on the
Mm-hmm.
Facebook or LinkedIn or in any social media, then let's check
Mm-hmm.
it. So this is the client side render application, and or
Mm-hmm.
you can say normal Angular application. Once it is once it is parsed, you can see here we are getting the initial title only. And
Okay.
even though I am changing that title dynamically, here you can see that
Mm-hmm.
I am changing the title dynamically. Even though I will be using books, it will
Mm-hmm.
not get that content. You are getting only
Oh,
the
okay.
initial. So even though you
Mm-hmm.
are doing dynamically, it will not render. But while you are using the server side render application, it will give you the as I shown that it gives you initial pre-rendered page, or
Mm-hmm.
that page which is rendered on the server. You can
Mm-hmm.
so your crawlers can crawl that part, and
Okay.
let me check with the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. And here you can see that I
Wow.
am getting image also. I have also set
Mm-hmm.
the like featured images dynamically, this
Mm-hmm.
title, and as well as this description or meta. This is the meta information I have
Mm-hmm.
added. So
Oh.
this way it helps. Other advantage I can show you is like, even though you disable the JavaScript, your server side and
Mm-hmm.
render application will work, while your
Oh,
current
okay.
client side rendered application will not work. Suppose I
Oh,
am
that's.
disabling the JavaScript here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Let me just refresh it. You can check here.
This is
Everything is
nice.
working.
Okay.
Well, this is
So,
the
okay.
yeah.
Okay, this is great. Okay.
Okay, and here I'm disabling the JavaScript.
Mm-hmm.
And just let me refresh it. Nothing happened
Oh,
there because it
that's.
is not able to execute the JavaScript.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this
So you are saying,
another,
okay, so SSR can run without JavaScript as well. You don't have to
yeah,
actually. Oh, okay.
yeah,
But is it like applicable for everything, or like there are some
yeah.
criterias
There
that?
are also, yeah, there are some criterias,
Mm-hmm.
because if you are SSR have also some cons, like it will not be able to execute the JavaScript until your complete application is loaded,
Mm-hmm.
like on the browser. You will not be able
Mm-hmm.
to execute the JavaScript part. You can
Okay.
still execute this routing parts if you
Mm-hmm.
have used it like router links, but JavaScript
Mm-hmm.
part it will not execute, because while it is generating that rendering that page on the server, it is
Mm-hmm.
rendering only HTML and CSS for that page. So
Okay.
JavaScript will not work. But this gives us an advantage that we can like on the like for SEO, as well as user will get the initial content. He'll not
Mm-hmm.
and at this in the meantime our whole application will be loaded. So blank screen will not come. That is the main
That's
advantage here.
that's really cool. So if I understand it correctly, you're saying that JavaScript, I mean, until your application is loaded, JavaScript will not work. So, but your anchor links, I mean, whatever the routes we have, that will still work,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
Router links will
what?
work there.
Yeah. Okay. And what we mean by JavaScript is, let's say I have a form, and then I'm submitting that form. Will that work, or like it won't?
No, that will also not work, because
Okay.
if you are
Mm-hmm.
calling like on button click, you are changing the variable, that will also not work, because that is also one JavaScript part. Okay, so
Okay.
until
Okay.
the
That.
that my browser app is loaded there, If you are
Mm-hmm.
doing any task on the like initially by clicking something, then and that is
Mm-hmm.
based on the JavaScript, then that part will not work. But if you are like
Okay.
doing any API call or initially, then that will be done on the server side only. You will get the
Ah,
on
okay.
all the APIs will be rendered there, and then you'll get the content on the client
Okay.
side.
But after that, I mean, if you have any API calls or any form submission that
Yeah,
has to actually use JavaScript. Okay, that's really
yeah,
nice. I mean, so I can say that if you have an application where you actually don't have a lot of interaction, like your own portfolio, right? So
yeah,
in your own portfolio, you never need a lot of JavaScript running, right? So you can
right.
actually go ahead and use SSR and make JavaScript disable, and it will
Right.
still work.
Other
Okay,
use
that's
cases
good.
are like suppose you have blogging site which you are building in the Angular, then
Mm-hmm.
here also you can use the SSR because it will also improve your SEO. Also,
Mm-hmm.
in blogging, we are not doing much like JavaScript part. Okay, we just require
Ah,
the content.
mhm.
So
Exactly.
in
Yeah.
blogging site, also in like suppose you are building the e-commerce site. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
then that should be like uh, crawlable. Okay, that search
Mm-hmm.
engine should be able to crawl that page. When I am
Yeah.
searching on the Google, then it should be visible to me, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for that, we can use the SEO. Otherwise,
Ah.
your uh, page will not get ranked.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's really cool. So, I mean, we mentioned this word SEO, but what do you actually mean by SEO, and what is SEO? Because I'm sure a lot of developers, front end developers, or the developers who actually move from, let's say, back end to front end, they are
Yeah,
not aware of what is SEO. So, how you will explain it to them in simple
sure,
words?
sure. Okay, so in simple words, I can say like search. Generally, that there are various search engines like Google, Bing, or other. So, what whenever you are searching something here, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose I'm searching here this Angular data tables. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting some pages here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and that is come from like indexing. Google index all the pages,
Okay.
and it uses crawlers. They
Mm-hmm.
have like different things like search console there, and you can provide your site there. You can enter your site. You have to create an account, and then that will be indexed. Once that is indexed, then only you can see your page here when anyone
Mm-hmm.
searching in this. Otherwise, you will get some traffic, but that will be only direct traffic. So
Okay.
this is called the SEO, that search engine can index that page, and your page will be ranked. And whenever user is searching, he'll get your page, and then you can like you can come, and that is called the organic traffic. You can say there are various
Okay.
terms in SEO: organic traffic, direct traffic, social media traffic, referral traffic. So these are the
Mm-hmm.
terms you will find in the SEO.
Okay. So I mean, what that search console? I mean, let's say I have my own portfolio, right? But
Okay,
I've never used that search console. What happens? And someone comes to my someone goes to, let's say, Google, and says, okay, my Santosh Yadav dev, let's say. So can you just do that? I mean, just enter
sure,
Santosh
sure.
Yadav dev, let's say. Yeah.
Whatever, right? I have added
Yeah.
complete.
So what happens in this case? I have never been to the search console and I never did anything. So how
Ha-
this works?
Have you indexed this page or anywhere or not? Because generally,
No.
if you are using, like, if you are not indexing your page, if you are
Hmm.
creating like blogs, okay,
Hmm.
generally there are lots of blogs with the same title or same content, okay, not same
Hmm.
content we can say, but thing is like they write some common thing on common topic, okay, so that should
Hmm.
be indexed properly. Like your site should be come on the first page or second page to
Hmm.
rank more, and that will be done by SEO. Proper content you have to write, you have to use proper meta tags, as well as you
Hmm.
have to use proper h1 h2 tags, header tags, and
Okay.
like LSI keywords and other things are there. While you are writing the blogs, you have
Hmm.
to take care all these things so that your
Okay.
page get ranked of- as like in the first page or second page. It is better to have in the first page. uh,
Hmm.
if it is in the first page, you will get the better traffic, organic traffic.
Okay. Okay. So I'm okay. So I'm still not sure how it comes on the first page. I mean, you said you have some console where you have to register, but I never did
Yeah,
that. So is it like something maybe Netlify or your providers can also do? Is it possible?
I mean, not sure about this, but generally
Mm-hmm.
if you have not indexed that page, it should not. Generally these things can come because that providers can do, like
Yeah.
dev
Mhm.
to and this LinkedIn,
Yeah.
and that
LinkedIn.
profile will come.
Yeah.
But until you do for your own site,
Mm-hmm.
if you are not indexing that page properly, then that will not
Mm-hmm.
come. I'll show you that search console here also.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
This is the normal search
Mm-hmm.
console where you have to add your site and you will get
Okay.
the traffic that you have to add your link for the indexing. Generally, that is
Mm-hmm.
if you have added once or you have created such account and you
Mm-hmm.
have added, like there are some sitemap file. If you have added that, then
Okay.
crawlers will periodically check that sitemap file, and then they will index the page.
Oh. Okay. Okay. That's really cool. Okay. So can you just share the links for the search console? So I mean, in our comments,
Sure, sure,
so everyone can access it.
sure. This is for my like it is
Okay.
directly
So you
redirecting
have
to
to.
my page.
Okay. So you have to log in here, right? So you have to log in and
Yeah,
maybe create your account or something like.
yeah.
Can you? You are not able
I'm
to
not able to
comment.
add.
Can you just share it in private chat? I
Sure.
will share it. I mean, probably you might have to actually log in to that. Okay, let me just share the console. So this is for reference, everyone. So in case you have your own website and you want to actually index it, you can just go to this website and add your website, maybe your portfolio, or maybe if you have any blog post, you can just add
Okay.
it. And then so the advantage is you will be able to see all the details from where you are getting the traffic. Is it, Ankit? Am I correct?
No, for that there is a different tool, Google Analytics, you can use.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that is used for the all the traffic related data, from where you are
Okay.
getting traffic, how much traffic you are getting per day, and all the other analytics
Mm-hmm.
data is there.
Oh, that's cool. So it's and this tool is free, right? So I don't have to pay
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
to actually. Okay, okay, that's really cool. So
Google
something I'm getting
Analytics
for.
also you want to see, then I'll share.
Yeah, I mean Google Analytics. As far as I'm aware, it is not free, right?
It is free.
Oh, okay. Is
You
it?
doesn't have to.
Okay.
I'm using that for my site
Okay.
only.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the whatever sites the library which I have published, and for that
Mm-hmm.
page I am also using the same for getting
Okay.
the like how many users are coming to that site. So you can add in your Angular application also.
Okay.
So this is the Google Analytics, and you can
Mm-hmm.
see all the details like how many users are coming to your site and
Mm-hmm.
what are from where they are coming. Other things are
Mm-hmm.
there, like demographic details and real
Oh,
time
okay.
traffic and all other things are there.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, and I'm sure, I'm not sure why, but I was under impression that you have to pay for analytics.
No, 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 it is free.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'll try to add it. Maybe you can help me once I
Sure,
try to
sure.
set it up. Cool. So anyone, I mean, anyone who is using Search Console, you can also add analytics, Google Analytics, to actually get more information about how you are getting the traffic, from where you are getting the traffic. So that's really helpful. Okay. So that's really cool. I mean, the way you explained SEO is like, I think I am more clear now why and why where to actually use SEO and why it is important. Okay, so next what we can do is we can discuss a little bit about pre-rendering. We
Sure.
mentioned in SSR also there is something pre-rendering which is available. So
Yeah.
what do you mean by pre-rendering and the process, how it happens?
Yeah. So pre-rendering is while we are building our application, we are
Mm-hmm.
generating all the pages, like all the HTML pages for the all
Mm-hmm.
the routes. There are
Okay.
ways like you can only generate the route default routes, or you can also generate pages for the parameterized route. So you are
Mm-hmm.
generating that pages while you are building it, and you can directly host that pages on the CDN or any server. So that will be a you can say more faster than SSR, because all the process is
Okay.
done there. Generally in SSR, processing will be done on the server side, but in
Okay.
pre-rendering, that is already done while building that
Oh, oh,
application. So that processing will be also not required. So that will be a more faster than SSR.
okay. So I'm okay. So here is a question. So you said
Yeah,
I can just deploy it on CDN. You mentioned that.
yeah,
So what about JavaScript?
yeah. But this pre-rendering is only for blogging and other static sites. Generally,
Okay.
Jamstack you have heard about.
Mm-hmm.
So where you are building an applications for normally HTML pages, and you are
Mm-hmm.
calling an APIs and all. So the pre-rendering also using this approach, like whenever you are generating that HTML pages, it adds
Mm-hmm.
our Angular application JS files. So
Okay.
when that page is rendered, it will also download the Angular JS files, and then it will
Okay.
move to Angular part.
Okay, so I mean, pre-rendering can also work without JavaScript. So I mean,
Yeah,
if I have to compare, the only thing is like in SSR, you are doing making a request, your page is
yeah,
getting processed, and then
process.
it will
Yeah,
be returned back. Here,
yeah,
you are actually already have your HTML file available on
yeah,
server, and whenever I say let's say
yeah.
abc.com
Right,
slash home, it just gives me index.html and no processing
right.
anywhere. So it
Yeah.
is even more faster than SSR.
Yeah, because
Ah,
we are not processing anything on the server.
mm,
It is already done.
yeah.
But there are also limitations of pre-rendering. Suppose you
Mm-hmm.
have so many pages, okay, then at the
Mm-hmm.
build time, that will take more time to
Oh.
generate your build. Okay, so as
Ah.
much there are suppose n number of pages, then that will be a n number of times will be increased for the that pages. So, but what
Oh.
happens that if you are generating pages through like Angular Universal is also providing your pre-rendering, and Scully is there.
Okay.
Recently it
Mm-hmm.
came and it is in beta. It is also
Okay.
a new thing, and you can pre-render. So Scully is using Chromium, uh, the way like Chrome is using, and that is pre-rendered on the build time. And
Mm-hmm.
also Angular Universal is doing the same, but that is using the Node.js for
Okay.
pre-rendering all the pages.
Mm-hmm.
And all the pages you can for the parameterized route you can
Mm-hmm.
add whatever the id or parameter are there in separate
Okay.
file or through API there,
Mm-hmm.
and that all the pages will be generated and you can host that pages.
Okay. And so, what does Scully does? I mean, if in SSR you are using Node.js server, is Scully doing something different, or they are also using Node.js server?
No, Scully is using Chromium.
Okay.
Through Chromium you can generate the pages. Okay,
Oh, okay.
and that pages the way we are generating pages in the like Angular Universal pre-rendering,
Mm-hmm.
Scully is also doing the same. Also
Mm-hmm.
Scully uh, like give us an advantage of like transfer state. Suppose some APIs you have already uh, done on the like while pre-rendering, then you can cache that thing, and then
Mm-hmm.
you doesn't require to call that render once that page is rendered.
Okay. That's cool. And okay, so if I'm using, let's say, you said if I'm using SSR, you have to always go ahead and make a check that if I'm running it on browser or server, is it really required in Scully as well?
No, in Scully, Scully is only for the like pre-rendering, and
Mm-hmm.
that will be like when you are building. There is another command for the Scully. Scully is also providing us a schematic to add it in our Angular project. We doesn't require to do
Mm-hmm.
much things. We just need to, and also it gives us like separate plugins, and also we can use
Mm-hmm.
the Markdown file in the Scully. Suppose you want to host a blog in
Okay.
Angular, then Scully is the best option because it allows us to use a Markdown file and we can
Oh,
create our blog there.
that's
So
really cool.
through various plugins, and also like they have they are like coming with this ecosystem for the same for various plugins,
Mm-hmm.
and you can also
Oh,
contribute your plugins if you want
oh,
to do
that's,
contribution in the Angular side. Then Scully is
mm-hmm.
nowadays a good option. You can do
Okay.
there.
Oh, that's really great. Okay, so in Scully, you don't have actually much of overhead of actually trying to check if it is running on server or client. You can just
Right,
actually write Angular code and it works. That's it.
right.
Okay. So, I mean, one more thing which I heard about Scully is something known as transfer state.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what is that? So, what do you mean by
Okay.
transfer state and how it is
So
useful?
transfer state generally what happens with the pre-rendering, or the whatever pages you have generated, that will be
Mm-hmm.
downloaded initially. That HTML page is already ready. So once you will navigate to that page, it will be rendered. At the same meantime, it also downloads our Angular applications that is
Mm-hmm.
added as a script. Okay. So when you are pre-rendering the page at that time, so once first page is rendered, Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that time also API will get called. And
Okay.
also while your browser app is rendered, that
Mm-hmm.
time also another API will call. So there are two API calls. You can reduce that.
Mm-hmm.
Or okay, not two times in the at while you are building that page. At that time,
Mm-hmm.
that content, suppose I'm getting some content from the external API, then that content
Okay.
will be a fetch while building the application, and that will be a generated. But while my browser app is rendered, uh,
Mm-hmm.
other than that page, then it also makes another API call. So
Okay.
here I can use a transfer state to cache my APIs, so
Mm-hmm.
it will not make another API call.
Oh,
It
okay.
will use the same content which is already fetched.
Oh,
So you can
that's cool.
reduce the API calls at the time.
Okay. I think I tried Scully once, and it gives you something called data.json. So it makes that data.json available. So all the data is available in that data.json file. And next time it actually does not make an API call. It just fetches the data from data.json and renders it. So it was really fast. I was just doing it
Yeah,
for I think just for learning it.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's really
also
cool.
learning, but like it is in beta. So if you are doing some production applications,
Uh,
then you just try for your other application, and later on you can move once it is
uh,
like completely available.
yeah, that's cool. Okay, cool. So I think there is a question from Ishan. So let's take that question now. So he says, will it be fair to say SSR and pre-rendering are more useful for content-driven websites, and its use is limited to faster first page download? So what do you think?
Yes, Ishan, you are right. Because if you are building, suppose, blog site or
Mm-hmm.
your portfolio site, then that content should be loaded as fast as possible. Generally, there are various metrics Google uses to rank your page as fast.
Mm-hmm.
If your application is faster, then it will be like a get higher rank. So that is
Mm-hmm.
the main thing. So, and also for while you are sharing that content on the social media, that should be crawled. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
if you are not using server side rendering, then that page will not be able to crawled by any social media crawlers. So for
Oh,
that also SSR or pre-rendering can be helpful.
oh, that's really cool. So I hope Ishan, we answered your question, and in case you have any more question, you can ask. Cool. So I think Ankit, we discussed about SSR, we discussed about pre-rendering, and uh, I think we are actually at the end of the session. So is there anything else you want to add before we move ahead? And so is there anything else you have
Okay,
in your mind?
so like there are various rendering techniques which we talk, but there are various
Mm-hmm.
use cases. So based on your use case, select the strategy. It doesn't mean
Okay.
that in the all the sites you use SSR or pre-rendering. It is
Yeah,
based on
that's
your use case. Suppose
okay.
you
Mm-hmm.
are building an e-commerce site, then at that time you can't uh, generate or pre-render all the pages. Also, you require the
Mm-hmm.
your page should be social media crawlers or search engine can crawl. So at that time you
Mm-hmm.
can go ahead with the SSR. If your application is used by the only client, and he doesn't require such search engine optimization, or he doesn't want to
Mm-hmm.
share their content, then at that time we doesn't require SSR or pre-rendering also. So at that time we can only go ahead with the normal Angular application. And
Ah,
if you are
okay.
building a blog application or a portfolio or any like content specific site, then
Mm-hmm.
you should go ahead with the pre-rendering. At that time pre-rendering will be helpful. So based on your
Mm-hmm.
use case, select the strategy.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, SSR and pre-rendering can be overkill if you are just using it at wrong place. Cool. I mean, so there is, I think, there is one thing which I wanted to discuss in pre-rendering, right? You said, okay, so if you have n number of pages, you have, I mean, the times will be multiplied. Is there any option actually just to pre-render what is changed, not to actually pre-render all the pages? Is that possible? Just a question.
uh, I think Scully is doing the same. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I
Hmm.
haven't tried, but might be Scully is doing the same. I'm not sure
Oh,
about that
okay.
thing, but that
Okay.
thing can be implemented if it is not
Hmm.
there. That will be a
I
better
mean,
option.
yeah. I mean, it should be right. I mean, if I have like 50, 100 pages, 50,000
Right.
pages, and let's say I add, let's say 10,000 products more, and now I have to 60K pages I have
Yeah.
to process.
And
So that
Scully
will
is
be.
also providing a GitHub action. So whenever your content is got changed, like
Mhm.
and also like while you using a Scully, you have to like create your bundle application. Okay, and then
Mhm.
it is Scully command you have to run to generate the
Mhm.
pre-rendering files. So if you are
Okay.
not doing any changes in your Angular application and you are doing the changes only in the Markdown files, then you doesn't require to create your bundle Angular bundle again. You just need
Oh,
to like
okay.
run this Scully command.
Oh,
So
okay. That's cool. That's really cool.
that
Okay.
is the thing.
Cool. Anything else you want to promote, Ankit? I mean, we are, I think, done. In case you have any questions, guys, please. Everyone, you can actually post it now. We can take that questions as well. Meanwhile, Ankit, you have anything to promote?
Okay, so first thing I will promote like like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah,
Tech Talk with Santosh, and
that's
also
really
you
cool.
can read more articles on my site ngdevelop.tech. I'll show you where I write my articles on
Mm-hmm.
Angular as well as JavaScript. So
Mm-hmm.
you can go there. Also, if you have any articles or any topic which you are not
Mm-hmm.
feeling well, you just connect me on the Twitter or LinkedIn and just let me know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll write on that articles. So,
Okay. Okay,
yeah,
so let me just share your Twitter handle. So you can always reach out to Ankit on
yeah.
Ankit_NG He's available on Twitter, and he can actually respond to your questions. So anything else, Ankit? I mean, you said you have LinkedIn account as well, where I can find that.
It is Ankit Prajapati 26. I'll share that link
Okay.
also.
Yeah, sure, sure.
And let me share my blog article.
Thanks a lot, Dheeraj. So we just received a response. Great talks. Thanks, Ankit sir and Santosh
Thank
sir.
you.
You
Thanks,
can
Dheeraj.
you can just call us Ankit and Santosh. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, sir is not. We are not sir.
Actually, yeah, it's really big term. I mean, okay, cool. So that's really good, Ankit. I mean, thanks for coming to the show, and I think a lot of questions were answered related to Angular SSR and pre-rendering. Even a lot of concepts are clear to me now as well. I'll try to maybe move my own blog post. It's an Angular application as of now, so I'll try to move it on maybe Scully or something else, and I'll try to use that console where you said you can actually register and make it
Text your
available,
page.
and yeah, and maybe add Angular, sorry, Google Analytics as well, and see how many people are actually coming to my website. I'm not sure if someone reads it, but
But
so
Angular, you have to some configurations are there. I have
okay.
also written article on that. So
Okay. Maybe I can just read that blog post and do it because I wanted to make some changes to my website. So I'll be doing that as well. Thanks a lot, Sanket. Thanks for joining us. And Parth,
thanks
thanks a
for
lot. In case you have any questions, you can always reach out to Kankit on Twitter handle. And in case you have any other questions, you can always reach out to me. And yeah, so that's it. I mean, this is from the sixth episode of Tech Talks with Santosh. In next episode, we'll be talking about Angular best practices, and it will be on 25th. So 25th is again Friday, and it will be on same time. And we have another guest, Armin. Armin is from Armenia, so he'll be talking about the best practices as he worked on a large enterprise application where he had to do a lot of things because it was an hybrid application, Angular JS plus Angular. So he wrote down some blog post as well regarding that, and then uh, I just thought of like asking him to come to the show and discuss about it. So that will be really great topic to discuss because a lot of developers do struggle with the best practices, and I'm sure it will help you as well. So and yep. So that will be the last episode from September month. In October, we have three more people coming to Tech Talk with Santosh. We will be having Sam. Sam is a Google developer expert, and we'll be talking about the evolution of web development. So that's a really cool topic. Again, I have not posted it on my website, but I'll just share the link soon. And then we'll be having Jan Nicholas Wortman, who is core member of or core team member of RxJS. So we'll be talking about something related to RxJS. So keep and watch because topic is still not decided. So I am sure it will be an
lots of
interesting one.
exciting
And
topics. Yeah.
yeah, and the final talk of the October will feature uh, Alex Okrishko, who is who works as at Google with Firebase team, and we'll be talking about state management in web. So it will be general to web. It is not related to any particular technology, Angular or React. It's in general what we want to achieve. So that's what we are coming up with, and of course you can subscribe to the channel to get more updates. And thanks a lot for
Yeah.
joining again.
Thanks everyone.
Yep. Thank you. So I'll just end the broadcast.